Live on tape from Production Room 6, it's the John Jay and Rich BTS podcast with Joey and Grant.
Thank you, Scott Fisher. Welcome to the John Jay and Rich Behind the Scenes podcast, the JJR BTS with Joey and Grant.
That's right.
Back after 2 years. Delaney's excited. We can see her behind the glass.
T-Bone in the house. She's our silent producer today. You can follow her on Instagram, Twitter, all the social medias. At Pomo and Kitch is her handle. Nope, that's mine.
At Loud as Hell is Delaney's.
And at Joey Bradfish on all the social medias. Are you still on Twitter? You still do Twitter?
I deleted my Twitter app today.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Did you delete the account then? The John Jay and Rich account?
No.
I'm just
No, I didn't delete the account. I deleted the app. And no, it has nothing to do with politics on one side. It has to do with politics on both sides because
sure.
You're all fucking crazy.
Yeah, man.
All of you.
I would, all of you. You listening right now. No, I got off of Twitter about 4 months ago. I was in the bathtub one day and I was reading something and I was like, this does not mesh with my optimism and my view of the world. So I decided I'm going to delete the account. And when you get that notification, it's like your account has been deleted. It's like relief.
Yeah, the bathtub is all about Zen.
That's right, man.
So
I got to tell you,
congratulations on that. You were way ahead of everyone.
It felt good. I got rid of Snapchat, got rid of Twitter. Pretty much the only thing I use now is Instagram. And it's great. It's great. So I had, right before we started recording this, we talked the last time we talked, and I said, you know that feeling when you drink too much caffeine and you get too hot and you're not sure if you're dying or if you're feeling great?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so anyway, we were in Delaney and your room, Delaney. The two of you were in the room together. You had a space heater on, and I had a space heater running all morning. I had a sweatshirt and a jacket on. Mm-hmm. And then I was just sitting there listening to you guys talk, and I go, ugh. Ugh.
You have a lot of stomach issues.
It's not really, I don't really have issues. I just there's 4 or 5 times a day where I just feel like I'm going to die. I'd say that's more just
I think that's the definition of an issue.
Well, maybe
doctor.
Do you know any doctors?
No.
Hey,
I don't have a doctor.
I do have to say it has to be a combination because I'm team nicotine gum now.
Yeah.
I love the nicotine gum. I've been on nicotine gum now for not Nicorette.
Okay.
Generic Target version.
Oh.
It's cheap and it does the trick.
And this is just a personal decision because you just want the nicotine, or are you trying to get off of something?
Well, here's the thing. Folks at home who don't know me, I used to chew tobacco. Which is
I feel like we've talked about this.
Yeah, but I don't feel like it's
I've shared some dips with you.
Yeah, and it's always a great experience.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, given that we work in pop radio, you don't really see a whole lot of dudes popping in dips all the time.
Boy, it needs his teeth.
Yeah, and also the thing that's wild is when I was writing funeral home stories and doing all that stuff, I would just throw a dip in.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the best because I'd have what it's called in the industry, a lipper. I would put a giant horseshoe of dip in and write a funeral home story and then be like, why don't I feel good? So anyway, I'm on nicotine gum, and I think between caffeine and nicotine and the temperature in this building, I think that's it. I think I have too many chemicals in my system.
You just chew a bunch of gum and just stick it in your lip?
Yeah, dude, actually it's kind of nice.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I put it up here. Shit. I used to do that. I would do that with gum anyway.
You pointed to your nose.
Oh yeah, I'd put it up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because then it's just you just feel like you have something there.
How long have you been on nicotine gum?
Probably 6 months.
Does that have to do with the throwing up?
No. I mean, it could be just too much. Because I did put in 2 pieces.
You'll have a slice here?
Oh, I'm chewing nicotine gum all morning.
Really?
All morning.
Wow.
And it is what a treat. Because you get those you get that vibe. We all have it where you get stressed out and you feel the tension. Yeah, I'm not listen, hold on. I'm not saying everybody should drop what they're doing and go buy nicotine gum. But it does help. Cuz it's like a stimulant.
No, I get it. I'm jealous.
But I also
I may have a couple slices one day.
Feel free, dude.
Yeah.
I keep them in my cool little leather messenger bag. I switched to dip when I switched from a backpack to a messenger bag.
I get it. Dude, I remember I was on a run when you text me the first time a picture of that bag.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, my mom sent me this, and I just don't think I can pull this off.
Yeah.
And what did I say to you?
You said, I've been looking at messenger bags like that for years.
I did.
And you were like, do it.
Then what else did I say?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, I was on a run, and I had a little adrenaline pumping through my veins. And I said, if you like it, rock it. Fuck everybody else.
Dude, there's like two types of Joey Bradfish. There's the endorphin, adrenaline, positive mood Joey, and then there's the exact opposite.
Exactly.
Where do you find yourself spending more time these days? 2021. Happy New Year, by the way.
Thank you. Definitely positive.
Of COVID still?
No.
This is
Yeah, this is post by the way, our last episode, the COVID episode, was posted on a bunch of different places, but it was posted on our Afterwards channel, and it was by far the most popular episode of 2021 and 2020.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so thank you guys for listening and wanting to care about my Crab Rangoon situation and COVID.
You know, I feel like once you get the podcast ball rolling a little bit, people are like, especially with JJ, we get a lot of messages about JJR BTS stuff.
Yeah, we literally quit doing it for over 2 years.
Why did we quit doing it?
Why did we quit doing it? I think we got mad at each other.
Yeah,
or
you and I
something.
weren't really getting along for a while.
Yeah.
This is a fun time to talk about that. Not in like a personal way, but yeah, we stopped doing it because it became it wasn't
for me, it wasn't priority at that time.
Sure.
Because I had just started the photo booth company.
Yes.
And there was a lot going on with that because we got equipment that was not functioning properly, so we had to send back for different equipment.
And it's not like you started a lemonade stand. You started a full-blown business.
Yeah, it was a pretty hefty investment.
With employees. And so like now in hindsight, totally get it. I got it at the time, I think, even.
No, yeah, because we got in a fight, and then like 2 months later, we stopped doing it. So it wasn't because of the fight.
Right.
I think there were some lingering feelings, but
we didn't talk. We would see each other in the hallway for like a few months. Remember that? For like
we didn't say each other.
We'd just be like, "Hey, man, that's it."
Yeah.
We would address each other just to be so we weren't like that guy's being a dick.
And to me, it was the best time of my life because I don't want to talk to anybody in the hallway.
Well, and also too, I ask you the same question 400 times. I asked you today.
Oh my God.
You eat this chicken sausage that smells incredible.
Yeah.
And up until today, you bring in a Tupperware container, and the Tupperware container is filled to the brim with the sausage.
Yeah.
And up until literally 45 minutes ago, I thought you ate that whole Tupperware thing every day. But you told me.
Which is 2 packages, 8 sausages. So Grant thought I ate 8 chicken sausages every single day with a little bit of cauliflower rice.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, Joey looks great, man. I need to go on this 8 sausage a day diet.
I thought he was going to be dead in 3 weeks.
Then I said, hey, where do you get those? And you're like, Grant, I've told you this too many times. And it was like,
you ever seen Bad Santa?
No.
You haven't seen Bad Santa? Well, there's this scene where there's a little kid and he keeps asking Billy Bob Thornton all of these questions. And it just goes throughout the movie. He keeps asking these questions, asking these questions. And then Billy Bob Thornton, at one point, he's like, well, kid, are you fucking with me? Like, that's how I felt because I was like, Grant, we've had this conversation 15 times.
You're right.
I know we have.
Also, it wouldn't surprise me if I would do a bit that would be me asking you the same question every
That's
day.
true. Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
But I just legitimately, you told me, you said fries, right?
Why don't you write it down?
Well, we have a butcher. You and I live in the same town, a great little town called Gilbert, Arizona.
Which is the meat mecca of the United States.
It kind of is.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
got the Gilbert Butchery. Is that what it's called? The Butchery?
Gilbert Butchery, yeah.
I've like driven by it. They decorate it for Christmas.
You drive by it all the time, and you've never been there.
I'll tell you what the problem is. There's a Wendy's right next door. So it's like,
okay,
do I want to go and get, I don't know, $45 of artisan
it's
meat?
not. No, it's you get their all beef hot dogs.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Do they do like Wagyu? This isn't an ad for Gilbert Butcher.
No, it is actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, they're paying me a lot of money to talk
So
about them.
much.
I think they do.
What is? I'm gonna run this past you because I feel like
Please.
you would have either tried this or have tried it. And I was watching a YouTube video of this outdoorsman, and he was like, "You ever get stuck outside and you need a meal with some real sustenance, and you see bones, like elk bones?"
Uh-huh.
He's like, "Grab one, throw it in the fire, crack it open, suck all the stuff out."
Like
The marrow.
bone marrow, yeah.
Yeah. And then, so for the last 3 weeks, I've been trying to figure out if I can do this in my home.
Eat bone marrow?
Yeah, because I want to go to the butcher,
Mhm.
Gilbert Butcher, and be like, "You got any bones?" And I just want to buy bones.
Listen,
and,
brother.
yeah, and
You got
then
any bone marrow?
so anyway, I've been reading about, like, I'm getting old. I'll be 35 this week.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm not that much younger. I thought I was a little bit younger than you.
Yeah.
I
think me, and Nick are all like the same few months apart.
because I'm going to be 35 in
July 2nd.
July. Yeah, jeez.
at
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow, that's a friend. I can't believe
But
you
I
stopped
can't-
talking for 2
But
years.
I can't remember where you get your sausage that you told me 400. You told me your birthday one time.
And that's the most important thing.
Right. So I've been reading, which is a problem because like you read one article and then you're like, this solidifies what I was thinking originally.
Oh, like the rest of the world right now.
Exactly. Yeah. But instead of it being political,
Yours is fun.
Mine is like what the health benefits of bone marrow are.
Uh-huh.
And so I think I'm going to be one of those guys who eats like intestines, and because it's got all this regenerative, restorative effect and anti-inflammation.
Yeah. Bone marrow is really good for you. I've never had it, but I know a lot of friends that do it. But yeah, I imagine you should be able to go to a butcher and I don't even know like how you prepare it or whatever.
Isn't that weird? Because you hear about like bone marrow transplants,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you don't like. There's this whole thing inside your bones.
Yeah.
It's like this mushy mess.
It's called marrow.
Yeah, but apparently it's like garlic butter. Like it's so fatty and rich, and
Man,
you
yeah,
put it
man.
on toast with a little you put toast and your butter, and then you put a little powder on it, like seasoning. However
Why
you
don't we
want
have
it.
a bone marrow party?
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody has parties
But
like
also,
that.
like,
That's a baller party.
is this unrelatable?
I don't. How much is bone marrow? Is that what?
Well, no, I was
what
gonna.
you're talking about?
Well, yeah, because I was gonna start taking a supplement every
Okay.
like that's just straight bone marrow put into a pill, and it makes your pee pee work better.
Oh.
It makes your nails look good, your hair look good.
Oh wow. 20 pounds of bone marrow is like $55.
Oh,
Precious marrow can reach up to $3,000.
how much bone marrow? Are you looking at it right there?
How much bone marrow can I consume
That's
in
what
one day?
We have, instead of like remember the water drinking contest that radio stations used to have where people would die. It's like, no, we force feed people bone marrow
on garlic bread?
for a
They have to eat like 9 loaves of bread.
yeah, for a Cabela's gift card.
It's a Marlboro miles.
That's right. Woo! So yeah, I'm really taking charge of my health and wellness this year. I got I thought about taking bone marrow, and I got blue light glasses. So pretty much, new year, new me, guys.
To take in charge of your health, I walked past the kitchen yesterday. And I know you've done this for a long time.
Oh,
But it just makes me laugh.
breakfast champions. Yep.
You were stirring up the ramen you just made,
Cup of chicken, cup of noodle. Yep.
and you were pouring the bag of Doritos you purchased into the ramen
Yeah.
and stir.
Crunch them up, pour them in. Oh man.
It looked like you were preparing bone marrow. That's how intense it was.
If I were on death row, that would be my last meal. I would say, hey, listen, I don't need a steak dinner. I just need a cup of noodles.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I tried using Cool Ranch Doritos for a while. It's just not the same. You need that cheese. That cheese really adds. I think this is a crazy thing to say.
Go for it.
Like, why the fuck can't you get cheese at Panda Express? If you could you could be like, hey, I want fried rice, mix some cheese, mix some sharp cheddar into that. I mean, it's not really in the the Asian tradition of food, I don't think.
You know what? Let them work on the crab rangoon first.
Oh yeah, you're right. Do we have an update?
No, I was going to talk about it on the show.
Yeah, you can't talk about it here until it's on the show.
No. I was going to talk about it on the show because it got so big on my social media. People are continuously reaching out to me, letting me know, taking pictures of them at Panda and seeing the tray of crab rangoon, not believing me at first, and then a picture of the tray that says crab rangoon that's empty, and they don't know what to do like I did.
I sent you, I posted on Instagram. We had Chinese food on New Year's or Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And
that triggered me.
Oh, yeah. And here's what I found out. So the mom and pop Chinese places, they make it in-house. So like they get the crab, they get the creamy ingredients, all the stuff, and they make it there. Where Panda Express, what was her name?
I don't remember.
Yeah, we beeped it out. Renee?
I have actually. I didn't put it up. I have audio.
But her conversation, she was just covering. She didn't know what was really going on with the crab rangoon. And the other thing I learned from that podcast with you is for the last 34 years, I've been saying crab rangoon.
Rangoon.
I didn't know there was another N in there.
Yeah, see what you learned from this podcast?
Ragoon. I've always said it like
Ragoon.
That. Yeah, give me a crab ragoon, please. But yeah, you were saying the N, and I was like, I think Joey's wrong. And then I looked it up, and I was like, turns
Poor
out
Joey has COVID.
God, he's just forgetting
and
everything.
He just can't talk. I listened back that podcast, and I was bad.
That was a good episode.
It was a good episode, but I was in bad shape.
Yeah, I couldn't. Just your description of Christmas has been interesting. Have you reconnected with your wife, or are you still living off campus? do you have to stay separated?
Oh no, we were good because we did a bit on the John Jay and Rich show and you can go back. There's a video of it where I got every test imaginable.
Oh yeah,
I got the what's it?
It's a PR.
TRX, no, PCR. I got the PCR test, the antigen. Okay, so I got the antigen instant. I got the PCR, which the PCR you can stay positive for up to 3 months. So they don't really rely on that. They rely on it initially, but afterwards it's kind of hard to tell. You have to get the antibodies test after. And I also got that, which I was positive for the antibodies. So I'm good.
So what does that mean? Okay. So now that you've had COVID, what are you afraid of? Like, what did the doctors say? They're like
cockroaches.
So is it back
horseflies?
So are you back to not living in fear, or are you worried about getting a second strain of COVID? Like what? I don't know. No one has talked to me that's had it, so I don't know.
Honestly, like from what I'm told, and I'll be honest with people listening to this. Don't reach out to me. Reach out to me.
But you're not the guy. You're not the...
Like, COVID is... Everything is so up in the air because it's such a relatively new virus.
Yeah.
And we're still learning. And I've heard of people that got COVID twice. I don't know if that's going to happen to me. But from what I'm told, I have the antibodies and I shouldn't be able to catch it again. Now, I'm taking all the precautions that I was taking prior, which was...
Two condoms.
Wear a mask. Sometimes wear a helmet, maybe into Target.
Yeah, dude.
Cover your face a little bit more.
Helmet. Have you...
Sir, yeah.
Because I feel like wearing a motorcycle helmet into a facility, like a place of business, might be frowned upon these days.
I've done it before.
Have you? That's pretty cool.
I've done it if I'm on my Vespa and I go into a gas station.
But that's like open face, right? Formula One, like.
That's what I have.
Really?
No, yeah, that's what I have.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
So instead of like taking my helmet off, putting on a mask, and going in, I just wear that.
Do you have like leather chaps? And did you?
No. I went with the jean jacket. You've seen my jean jacket.
Your jean jacket's clean, man. Do you have a Vespa? Do you have a Vespa patch on that?
Actually, I might. I haven't worn that jean jacket in a long time because I wore it a couple times. I'm like,
I suggested to you earlier that you get a motorcycle cut, like a vest.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking you turn the jean jacket into like a motorcycle cut, but get like a Vespa logo on the back.
Cut off the sleeves.
And be like, dude, what is it? What is it? The motorcycle club, 1%ers? Those are the people that killed somebody to be in the club.
Hell's Angels?
Well, I mean, there's like every motorcycle club has their general members, and then they have their like 1%ers. Did you watch Sons of Anarchy?
I did not.
You should watch it. I mean, as a scooter owner, you should watch Sons of Anarchy.
That makes sense.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything, but Jax Teller dies at the end, the main character.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, like that could be you.
And see, there are a list of shows that I don't want to see because they were so big and the endings were so heavily publicized.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That like Dexter, I'll never watch Dexter because I know how it ended, but it's coming back, so maybe I changed my mind. Hells of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy, I will not watch because of that, which is probably a stupid thing. Sopranos. I know. You and my sister both.
So good, man.
All she talks about is you need to watch The Sopranos.
I think like the ending, because they're making a movie too.
Yeah.
I think the ending, I'm happy with it. I liked it. Because it was like I didn't really like the 6th season because spoiler, Tony gets shot and he's in a hospital bed. You know why he was in a hospital? Why James Gandolfini was in a hospital bed for 8 episodes? Because he was negotiating his contract.
Seriously?
Yeah. So they like had to write him out of the series essentially for like a whole. That's awesome. Yeah. So like he was just like, no, man, I'm not going to do it, because the other thing that was cool that I found out is he was getting paid so much more to do that show than like a lot of other people. So he would call people into his trailer and give them like a check. Like
really?
Meadow Soprano, his daughter on the show, AJ, he would be like, thank you. I know you're not getting this on the back end, but you deserve it. And so that's why people fucking love James Gandolfini.
Yeah, why do the good people have to die?
I'm trying to think.
There's a lot of bad ones that are still alive.
Yeah. I mean, who died recently? Anybody?
Like that was like Alex Trebek? That was a big one.
That was a big one.
He shouldn't have died.
I mean,
he was 80.
Right. I mean, okay. This may be insensitive.
Nah.
But I do the Funeral Home Stories podcast. Like I should be able to comment about average life age, right? I think like, yeah, there's always going to be something that kills us. We're gonna find something, and then there's gonna be another thing that's gonna pop up and be like, oh, we don't have a cure for that, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And also,
especially with technology,
how long do you really want to live?
I mean, I'm looking at like 55.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because I think your life changes, and with those changes, you want to live longer because of those things.
Right.
That's what I imagine.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine the argument is. But I'm thinking 55, 56.
I mean, I just feel like 30 already. Like, I'm not really depressed. Kinda. I mean, but not in like a profound way. But
we're a fun podcast.
Yeah, it's a super fun podcast. No, but yeah, I was thinking about it. Like, I've invested 35 years. Like, and I was just imagining what 35 years from now I'm gonna feel like, knowing what I feel like now. I'm gonna feel terrible.
And you've done a lot of things in those 35 years.
Yeah, I've eaten a lot of people.
You've eaten a lot of bone marrow.
That's right, dude.
Like the good bone marrow.
Human bone marrow. That's going to be my thing. I'm just going to disappear off the face of the earth, and you're going to find out I'm like, what was his name? McAfee? Did you ever,
oh, yeah.
You're going to find out I'm like, I have a lab in Peru.
That guy is nuts.
Is he still alive?
He's still alive. And he's the craziest person you've ever seen. And he just created a thing that is so annoying.
Right.
And I mean, obviously huge.
He has the Batman Dark Knight arc completely down. Remember at the beginning, or at the end of the movie, it's like, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Uh-huh. He was McAfee antivirus. And if he would have died in the 90s, everything would have been cool. But then he just went on one. But have you seen, there's a documentary called Gringo I think it's on Netflix and Amazon and stuff. Uh-huh. But he's like, they're talking to the women that he would hire, like the prostitutes.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, what did he want? and
I've seen like a trailer or maybe like a snippet of
and
it.
he'd just make them. They had a hammock. And,
Yes, yeah.
They had a little hole, and they'd poop through the hole onto him, and I'm like, if that's what being a multi-millionaire is,
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need. Like, do you think there's a certain point where all of a sudden, like, you have a certain amount of money and you're like, okay,
I think what happens there is you have all of this money, all of this power, you've had sex with everyone.
right.
Now you're bored. Which
Sure.
I can't imagine getting to that point where you're that bored and you're wanting to try that, but I don't know.
I just can't imagine. I don't know. That just must be so complicated.
You just like try to out eccentric yourself.
But I mean, like, I'm already eccentric.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get money,
Oh God.
like I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have one of those pedal helicopters, like the Wright brothers.
You would be the first person to build a Taco Bell in your backyard. That is open 24 hours a day.
Freestanding.
Like Richie Rich.
Oh my God.
That would be your life.
What? Okay.
You would have Professor King Bean in the basement.
Yeah.
And you would have a McDonald's and a roller coaster.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that would definitely be your life.
Okay, so if we had, I mean, this actually works out this week because the Mega Millions is what? Still going on, right?
I think it was drawn last night. I think.
Was it? I don't know.
I've never purchased a lottery ticket, so I don't follow it.
Yeah, okay. So $500 million.
Mm-hmm.
JB, I say, you take the lump sum up front, that's $250 million. Good. Out the door, you got that much money. What's your first week of purchases like?
Oh man. Honestly, there are a couple local places in town that I would like to have at my house.
Yeah.
So
for example,
Worth Takeaway would be one of them because it's a sandwich shop and I guess it depends on where I would live. I would probably buy a lot of
I do a lot of land in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then I'd just be like, I get all my food delivered.
Yeah. I would, this sounds like, I would give a lot to my parents.
Oh, yeah. No, I would.
I know you would too.
Yeah.
But like Bill needs it though.
Well, that's
He's
what I'm
got
saying.
Like 380 acres.
Bill is crushing it right now. He got out of the funeral business and went into the house flipping business. They've moved like 15 times in the last 5 years. Beautiful homes. Beautiful homes.
What would you do?
I don't know. I've thought about it. And I would definitely give my family all the money. Like in terms of like whatever nobody's doing. And I would also probably get, if it's $250 million,
yeah.
Like that'd be one of those things where I'd be like, oh, like the people I've spent the last, 8 or 9 years with, like you guys, I'd be like, hey, like you and Nick, Delaney. Is Delaney still here? Actually, no, I wouldn't give her any money then.
Good.
Yeah.
I think, I truly believe this. I don't know if I could spend the money.
I would try for a while.
But like I could live in a studio apartment for the rest of my life and be fine.
Would you buy a plane? I would buy a plane.
That is a purchase I would probably make.
But I'd want like a 737.
Okay.
Because you got $250 million. How much are those things?
Dude, like a
let's price out.
No, like a what Gulfstream is like 60 million.
Oh.
So a 737,
I feel like
I think you would just get the plane and be done with it.
How much
you would be
is
able to
a
maintain it.
737.
I'll bet there's one on offer.
Well, now they don't. Well, we could probably get a 737 Max pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Remember those?
No.
Those are the ones last year when I flew to Alabama. They all crashed. And there were like all these people in like Peru. Okay, so yeah, dude, we would not. On average, it's just under $90 million.
Oh yeah.
A Boeing 777 is priced at $442 million.
What does a 737 stocked all the time with bone marrow look like?
I mean, that's going to be a lot. Human bone marrow? Dude, that's crazy expensive.
I mean, at that point, it's got to be human bone marrow.
I would want to buy a huge, palatial house, and I would basically just want that so then I could could go explore.
Okay.
Because Kate and I are moving in together, and we're gonna have 2 cats.
Let me ask you about that.
Yeah. Hello.
Let me ask you about that.
Is Kate here? My new podcast partner, Kate.
Yeah, went from Caitlin to Kate. Sometimes you say Caitlin, sometimes you say Kate. What's
It all depends on the mood.
what does she prefer?
Either.
Okay.
Yeah, Kate's good though.
I like Kate.
Yeah, because then it's Grant. She call it
Grant and Kate.
Yeah, and she'll take off the T.
Yeah, the Lun.
And she'll just call me Gran.
She'll call you Gran?
Gran, and if I call her Kate, she'll be like, "What do you need, Grant?"
I call Chanel Channel. So you're removing letters. I'm adding letters.
Yes. Yeah, you put an extra N. She takes off the T.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really like her a lot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I
didn't even ask you.
I was gonna say I think doing a weekly podcast with your significant other
mm-hmm.
and having people actually listen to it, because our podcast it's growing, which is nice. But it's something we do together.
Mm-hmm.
It's something we're both responsible for, but also for an hour every week, we have to just sit across from each other and talk.
And yeah, you probably get some shit out.
Yeah, and we get in fights. You do
and that's great content.
I'll say something to her, and she'll be like, and I'll be like, "What?" And then it'll be silence, and then you'll hear, we're real regular people. I don't know, but yeah, I really like her.
So if it were to happen, marriage, I'm saying, could Tim, Tori, and I officiate your wedding?
That'd be great. I think Caitlin and I have already talked about all this stuff a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, and it would be, I think we both kind of like the elope.
100%.
Because
I would recommend.
Yeah.
And I think for you too as well.
I mean,
why don't you get married? I mean, you should get married on your parents' property.
I gotta ask her first.
Nah. Just tell her you're getting married.
I go, hey,
it's 2021.
We're heading to Alabama. My dad's gonna marry us. He's a funeral director. It's fine.
I will fly us out there privately on a 737 if that happens.
It's cool because we're having conversations, and I think I may have said this to you, but I legitimately feel like I have a partner.
That's good.
And I know that Nick, I mean literally everybody on the show except me and Delaney, right, is married. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So now it's kind of it's not that I feel pressure to get married. It's just holy shit, I actually could see I want to be around you for a long time. And I think she likes me. I think.
Well, God, I hope so. You guys are moving in together. That's honestly, that's going to be the true test.
I don't.
Is once you live together.
I think it'll be fine.
And trust me, it's different when you're staying the night at each other's house. Totally different.
Well, I think also too, we're both full adults, so it's very different than being a 23-year-old moving in with somebody or yeah, because it's great.
Yeah,
because she'll be like, hey, we need plates.
Yeah, before you were with Caitlin, your biggest purchase as far as consuming something, food, was wrap chips from the local Circle K.
Oh, dude, wrap chips are the shit, man.
Now look at you. You're trying to look for bone marrow.
I know, dude.
You're a fucking man.
I went from
now.
wrap snacks to bone marrow. You know what? Oh my God, what rapper? We need to convince a rapper of
a bone marrow brand,
middle level rapper. Who could we get?
I feel like.
I feel like. I don't know who's.
I feel like what's his face? Goblin. That's that album.
Tyler the Creator.
I feel like he would have a bone marrow brand.
Yeah, he would be great. Who else would be good? Yeah. Or maybe I could see Logic.
Yeah. Didn't he retire though? I mean, he'll retire for 6 months and then put out. I mean,
he's
10 more albums.
got so much of that Sandlot money still. I think, right?
He does look like that guy.
I mean, I guess that's not really a funny joke since they made a whole video about it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they had Chris D'Elia play Eminem, which is hilarious now.
Oh yeah, I did. I did see that video. Oh, I don't remember the Sandlot part.
Yeah, they call Logic, and he's like, I got the
That's
perfect guy.
right.
And
That's
it's
right.
the kid.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah,
okay.
he looks just like him.
Okay. That's good.
Joey, you got anything exciting planned for this? When is this coming out? This episode?
Friday.
Cool.
We have to change some artwork on our feeds.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, because it's coming up. So here's what happened. This was the JJR BTS feed.
Correct.
And then it was changed over to Behind the Glass.
Yes.
Behind the Glass is no more.
Correct.
So my thought was, well, we had a bunch of people that already listened to this feed, and then we stopped doing it for 2 years.
Yeah.
And the majority of the reviews and the ratings came from the 125 episodes that we did.
For sure.
So I was like, I'm not going to start a new feed.
No.
I'll just keep this one. Now, I changed the artwork on the platform that we use to distribute this, but certain...
I think you have to change it through that particular... There's a different...
Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah.
email some people, and I think we'll be fine because they could push it out. But yeah, that's sometimes it's popping up Behind the Glass and it's JJ. So
Well,
gotta get that
since we're on the topic of podcast stuff, collection 2 of My Funeral Home Stories. This is an exclusive. Won't be coming out anytime soon. It's going to be a little while.
Okay.
Extended period. And also in the next...
Didn't you post something about March?
Yeah. But then,
No,
yeah,
it's not happening?
some things changed.
Okay.
And I was just kind of like, okay.
All
yeah. I mean, because like right now I have a standalone book. Collection 1, it's done.
Uh-huh.
Collection 2 will be the last 3 seasons, but I just need to...
Okay.
I need to make it work for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what's happening with that. And then Caitlin and I are going to drop the how to become a terrible person. And we're just going to call our podcast Terrible Person.
Yeah.
Because it's awesome.
It's a little cleaner. It's like, did you have a consultant like, what's his name? The Napster guy.
Sean Parker.
Sean Parker.
Drop the Facebook.
Drop the.
Drop the how to.
Just Facebook. It's cleaner.
Yeah. No, this was more of a legal ramification type change.
For how to become a terrible person?
We changed a couple things.
How to become a terrible person?
Yeah.
You had issues with how to become a terrible person?
yeah.
Legal issues, huh?
Legal, yeah.
For how to become a terrible person?
Yeah, especially because got a little too explicit for some of the networks it was on, apparently. Got a few notes, couple notes about content.
But what does that have to do with the name?
Well, no, what I mean is I'm just going to change the name and put it somewhere else.
Okay.
So then I don't have to worry about anybody sending me notes being like, you can't talk about this.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, I got you.
And also, I found this out. How crazy is this? I submitted a new feed to Apple.
Mm-hmm.
I created How to Become a Terrible Person and deleted it in May of 2013. I had episodes up on, which is before we were even doing JJR BTS.
Oh, that's weird.
I think I did 8 episodes.
I remember you telling me
Yeah.
in the car in California when we were officiating Tim and Tori's wedding that you had this podcast.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, let's just focus on our fucking podcast, Grant. Don't worry. And then we broke up.
Well, yeah, and then we were like, we're going to change a name. And then we were like, that's fine. But yeah.
We should call this podcast Remarried.
Remarried at first sight.
I like it.
Joey, we made an agreement before we started.
Mm-hmm.
We said, no meandering. Because we were good at that.
Yeah.
We accept, if there is one thing Joey and I are great at, it's wasting you, the listener's time. Right?
Honestly, like, I think that's what everybody liked. We thought it was bad because we had, like, terrestrial radio brains.
And also we were getting notes from, like, terrestrial radio people who were like, nobody's going to listen to this. And we're like,
this whole podcast thing?
yeah, it's going to be a
Who
flash
hell
in
is
the pan.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. What podcast do you listen to?
I listen to a radio show, an afternoon show out of St. Louis. It's like politics, humor. It's called the Dave Glover Show. But outside of that, I don't really listen to a lot. You're going to tell me I'm lame.
Yeah.
But I started listening to a podcast that I didn't think I'd like, but I really kind of like it. And it's like a behind the scenes of the TV show Entourage.
Oh, cool.
And it's it's from the creator and then 2 of the people that were on the show.
But not
host it.
not Andrew. He's doing other stuff.
He hasn't been on yet, and it's like a storyline because they're like having a little tiff.
Oh, I see.
But it's interesting because the show is about Hollywood, and like all of the stories about each episode, and that show could not be on now
Because it was just too wild.
It was
not
it's
super
definitely
PC, right?
Yeah, it's not woke enough for sure.
Oh, okay.
So they talk about like certain things because you see certain things in the episode and you watch it now and you're like, ugh. But they explain things a little bit better in just the aspect of Hollywood, with that show it's really interesting. But yeah, that show I know is like.
I never got into that one. Not the podcast, obviously not the podcast, but I
Yeah.
never watched Entourage.
I'd say the first 4 seasons were pretty solid. The rest were but I continued to watch them. It's just one of those shows where it's like, this is fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I recommend? Okay. I have a podcast recommendation. I listened to it in one day.
Okay.
And it's like it's like a serious piece of journalism. It's called The Last Days of August.
Okay.
And it's about the porn star August Ames,
Okay.
who killed herself in 2007.
It's not good.
Yeah, I mean, heavy story.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, this guy did his first season of the podcast was called The Butterfly Effect, and it was about how Pornhub and the free user model of porn changed how porn stars and people in the profession make their living,
That's interesting.
and how porn being ubiquitous now is like ruining kids in terms of like what their perception of sex is and that sort of thing.
1,000%.
So this is his second season, and he met all these people, and there were 5 suicides in porn this year. In 2000, maybe it was, I don't think it was 17. It may have been 2007. I don't know. But anyway, he interviewed, it was the interviewer and the porn star's husband, August's husband, this guy named Kevin Moore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 8 episodes, and they get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
And they go through text messages. And what's crazy is they pinpoint it to one day when she was at work. And there's video footage of the thing that happened that caused this whole really sad, crazy issue. But it is one of the most compelling pieces of like journalism I've heard probably in like 5 years. The Last Days of August.
I could get into that.
And then, yeah. And there's also, the last podcast I want to recommend, it's called True Crime Bullshit.
Okay.
And it's about this serial killer named Israel Keys that a lot of people don't know about, but he is kind of he would travel, he'd rent cars and drive thousands of miles and bury kill kits. And then he'd put GPS trackers in, and then when he'd go back to that part of the country on another road trip, he'd dig up his kill kit with like a gun, cash, all this stuff, and he'd go and find somebody, and he did like
it's like having a girl in different cities.
well, I mean, essentially, because he'd bury these buckets, and
Right.
it turned into like, I think they said 30 confirmed.
Jeez.
And then they didn't go Canada, they didn't go international, but he was like, and the reason he confessed to everything in like these 8-hour long tapes, these incredible tapes, breaks down his system. And the whole reason he told the story is because he didn't want his family. He said, if I confess to everything, don't tell my family anything. And so this story like stayed quiet for like several years. And then all of a sudden it was like Israel Keys. And you can watch the full interrogation tapes on YouTube. But the True Crime Bullshit is awesome because the daughter on Ozark,
Mm-hmm.
what's her name on the show? Anyway, the blonde.
Yeah, you're into her.
Oh, yeah. And
Outside of Kate.
great. Well, I was going to say Julie Garner,
That's
she's the coolest.
Yeah.
She's the coolest.
Uh-huh.
But the daughter, all of a sudden, the host of True Crime Bullshit, he's like, so I got a message, and turns out I have a fan that's like totally obsessed with the show, and I'm doing a Q&A this week, and I asked them to host it, and it's the daughter from Ozark.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, my boyfriend and I took a road trip, and we found where he buried the kill kits here, and here, and here. Like, she's obsessed.
Wow.
True Crime Bullshit, I think they're 4 seasons, and it's written with interviews. It's really well done. So sorry to bring the room down.
No,
But
no.
I mean, I figure
good recommendations.
We're on a podcast. We should probably recommend Pay It
Yeah.
Forward.
Yeah.
Love Up.
Yeah. I mean, they've got publishing deals. We don't.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
No. I mean, There's so much out there, though, man. It's like,
such a problem. And the only other the thing, my gripe about podcasting, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it here.
Oh boy,
is I could care less about a celebrity's hot take. Give me people I don't know. Give me people I'm either loosely interested in, but I don't need to hear.
None of this is endorsed by Joey Bradfish.
Well, hold on. No, I mean, okay, here's my problem. It's like, great, there's going to be a step-by-step podcast, and they're going to have hosted by Patrick Duffy and Suzanne Summer, who haven't been relevant in 30 years.
Right.
Here's $8 million.
Well, I don't know if it's that
Well,
much.
you know what I'm saying, though. Like,
it's probably like $250,000, if that.
Each.
No.
I don't. No, but I mean, they didn't start a podcast. And people are like, "Oh my God, there's a Patrick Duffy, Suzanne Summers podcast."
I mean, I was looking on my phone as you were saying that.
Yeah, that's my only gripe. I would like to see more journalists and like new personalities. And I know there's tons of them, but it's hard to get past. It's like if podcasting's like a cold brew. Mm-hmm. You got to get through the foam, which is all the celebrity stuff.
Well, it's like anything else. I mean, that's been happening since entertainment was a thing. There have always been these bands that are so underrated, or a TV show, or anything.
Like Mumford and Sons.
You love Mumford and Sons.
Or who else underrated? Jason Derulo.
Derulo?
What it was?
Derulo.
Who's your favorite artist right now? Like, who are you listening to?
This is going to sound lame, but The Weeknd.
Cool. It's good music. I mean, his new music is just...
Yeah, his new album's really, really good. I don't get into a lot of new music, though. I don't. Like, I don't seek it out.
That song I sent you with the Jake Gyllenhaal video, that's a slamming song. Dude. The Shoes? What's it called?
The Shoes.
Time to Dance by The Shoes. It's Jake Gyllenhaal's in the video, and he's a savage killer.
That song and video has become a problem for me.
It's inspiring, right? Not in like a...
Inspiring? I don't know about that. Now, does it pump you up?
Hell yeah.
And does it kind of bother you that it pumps you up? You'll just have to watch the video.
Well, there's also the best part about the video, and I love this because it's like a detail. It's very specific detail. When he goes to the gym and he's running, he's wearing New Balance 587s or something.
Yeah.
He's wearing like a
dad shoe.
Yeah, but it's not like a cheap dad shoe. It's like a nice dad shoe. And it's like that's what that character in the video, the ruthless killer.
Yeah.
But man, when he puts on that fencing mask, oh, dude, he's so...
So I got COVID and I got back into the gym. I started running, and that every time that song,
I just hear
and the BPM on it is really, really good. But the song in the video, in the beginning of the video, I even looked up.
Oh, really?
When he's doing the fencing thing and he kills him, the bah bah.
Who is that?
It's The Shoes.
Oh, so they just use that's cool.
It's off their first album it's called America.
But that album came out in like 2012. That video was like old, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, man, the internet's so cool. Anyway, at Joey Bradfish on all the social medias. I am at Pomo and Kitch. You can text us 910-557-2871 if you feel so inclined. Anything else, Joey?
I think I'm good, man. We're probably not going to do this every week. Let's just throw that out there.
Yeah.
We're going to do this as much as we can when we can.
Yeah, man. I mean, because we did 2 weeks, or we did what? For a while, we did even a couple of weeks. Remember that one we did, the show was on vacation. We did five full podcasts in a row. That was a fun week.
Yeah, but it's just you think about all of the work we put into this.
Now that I'm editing all my own shit,
I
totally there's
and now we're gonna share editing on this, which will help things.
Well, yeah, it's like, because seriously, when we did the episode the other day, I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, this is great. It's two different voices that I haven't heard in a while.
I felt the same when I was editing this back in the day. I felt the same way, but just the thought of that I had to do it.
Well, especially if like there were times where we just kind of went off, and you'd be like, shit, I got to make a note to take this out, this out, this out.
and I'm already tired. And
Caitlin says some shit every episode that I'm like, I give her the look they used to give me. I'd be like, we can't say those words, right? And she's like, in that order. And she's like, what are you talking about?
oh, well.
She's the best. You're the best, Joey.
Kate, you are too. Let's do this again sometime.
This is the last episode for 2 years.
JDRBT.
And we're back.